Hey, welcome back to the channel. In this video, what we want to look at is basically setting up our backend for our application. So this will be dealing with most of the CRUD aspect of our application, create, read, update, but in a much easier way than with normal PHP code in a sense. So some of the things that we'll need are which I probably would have alluded to already, is for one, we need to have our server set up. So this is very, very important to have our Apache and our SQL server to handle the database aspect of this application, because that's pretty much all we really need. And I think Laravel runs with the artisan server, so I'm not sure if it really needs too much of this, but I know it needs PHP on and the database, I should say. So what I'm going to do is, and if you don't start this, what will happen is that it won't load the thing. So you want to just ensure that you have these started. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start them. It doesn't really matter which way you want to start them, which one you want to start first, but you want to ensure that both Apache is running. So once that is running, you can go to the web aspect of this, and you can click uh, admin here, I should say. Admin, you can click on admin and they should take you to uh, that page. But I don't really need that right now, so I'm not even gonna really worry about that because we're not gonna touch it. I don't think we're gonna touch into the database right now, or at least not in this video. So again, for me, command line, basically probably going to just work with. And to install this project, all we have to do, again, you want to ensure that you have Composer. So I can come here and type Composer, and as you can see, I'm in XAMPP docs because this is where the PHP server is being run. This is where the XAMPP server is. So you want to ensure that you're in here creating your PHP projects in here. Alright, so if I should click enter here, you will see that some commands that you can run with PHP, not PHP, with Composer, and some, you can see their big logo and whatever, and the version, all of that. So you'll see pretty much all of this. So this is what comes with uh, Composer. See, these are the stuff that you can use with Composer, the commands and whatever. So what we want to do is to use this, we just say Composer, and we're creating a Laravel project. So we say create project, and forgive me if I get this wrong, but I think I remember it to the utmost. You want to say Composer create project, and you want to do a tac preferred tac disk Laravel slash Laravel, and then you give it a name. And the name that I'm going to give this project is management tax system. I think that's a good name. So you want to just type this command, and once you type this command, you're going to press enter, and then you'll see uh, the installation process will start. So the funny thing is that I actually recorded this video, but the audio messed up. So that is why I'm also reluctant in creating the installation videos, because of my audio issues. So I need to fix that. So as soon as I fix that, then I can work better with these things. But all you have to do is type this command, and if you're not really all that sure, you can come here. I'll leave the command in the description. I'll also leave the link to the Laravel documentation, which everything is here. And from what I know, from what I hear, Laravel has one of the best documentations out there in terms of programming and PHP framework or whatever. So you just wanna come here, come to the documentation, and under the installation, this is the command right here. So Composer create project tac prefer-dist Laravel, and the name. This is just the name, so this is optional. So that is pretty much it. So as I said, I already installed it, so I don't really want to get into that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this, and then I'm gonna cd into the project, which is at management system, and you can see it there. So before I get into showing you how this look, I have the project opened here in Atom, so you can see it's at this location here, same project. So this is what the folder structure of the project is, and this file here is a very important file, and this is what we're going to be using to connect to the database or help with connection to the database. It's the environment file. You can see we have two of them. So you have an example and you have the original one. The example one is not is the one that, because this is for private, somewhat private information, like private keys and passwords and stuff like that. We do not upload this file. So if you should go to even the git ignore, it will be one of the files that are ignored from uploading to something like GitHub or whatever. So the password and stuff like that are not uploaded, but we have an example file, however, which has pretty much the same content. So all you have to do is just copy the content that's here and paste it in here and just rename stuff, all that you need. I will look further into this when we're going to set up the database in the next video. Another important file here is the vendor folder, which is really important. This is the one that is not uploaded as well because it's a very large file. So what we typically do is just to do a composer install, and this will install about all dependencies that are needed for our project. Something that to point out is that Vue actually normally comes with Laravel. It should be a package that's installed with it or a dependency that's installed with it. But when I check this out, it's normally in here. But when I checked it out, I realized that I didn't see the Vue component. I see this app.js. So I'm not sure about that. Normally you would see the .vue extension, but I'm not really gonna worry about that because it really doesn't matter. We're working with APIs, so it really doesn't matter with that. And this is where we'll deal with the APIs and stuff like that. But we'll get into that as we progress through this video, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see how best we can go ahead. As you can see, I'm having the audio issue, so we'll see how best we can work with that. Another very important file or folder is this here, the migrations, which we'll look at in the next video, which has to do with the database setup. So we're only going to create a database, and then that's it. We'll do everything. We can do everything from here. So the next very important file here is this folder. Well, folder, not file. So in here because Laravel uses the MVC structure, which is the model view controller structure, and this right here is a model, and the controllers are in here. What people now typically do is just to create a model folder and just add the models in that folder, but that is optional. You can do that if you want, based on how big the project is going to be, but it's just your preference. Now, to start the server, what we have to do is we have to just come here and just say php artisan serve, and this will pick up, I guess, this artisan files here, and it will serve the website, and it should be loading on localhost 8000, and I'm just gonna go over there now. This is at 7000, so this is my Nox project, but we're going for Laravel in this one. So I should just refresh this. If it's running, it started, hasn't started as yet. Just gonna wait until this thing start, which should not be taking this long. Really should not be taking this long, but that's just it. I'm just looking if I see anything else that is really important. And this is great. Testing very good in terms of development. So we can go ahead and test out some parts of our application before we implement it into the working part that we're going to like deploy or whatever. So this is very, very important, unit testing and stuff like that. So it's pretty much the same in everything. So we can create some files or whatever and just test them out to ensure that everything is working before we actually dive into it. This here is a really, really important file here, the package that compose.json, and the package.json is really, really important. The readme as well for documentation. So this is now running. So if I now come back here and do a refresh, we should see the basic structure of our Laravel backend project. Now, so you can see this is what it looks like. Very, very basic. It doesn't really, I don't think it has any more pages, but we're going to look at the authentication and stuff like that, which is going to be done with, I think it should be done with Vue, because I see the small changes. I'm not really sure, but it should be done with Vue. So in the next video, we'll look at authentication and looking at users and migration to the database. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.